Albany, New York. I'm going to be going live at 9. We are in the capital of New York, Albany, New York. We're going to be showing a bunch of old world architecture, showing you some real history. I'm just getting set up here because I'm going live on Instagram as well. My live streams on TikTok would get like 4,000 live viewers, but they've been playing games. So we're going to go live on Instagram and YouTube. Add a title, Lancelot Live. Stand by for 2 seconds, y'all. 2 seconds. Trying to get this going. All right, we got both going now. Checking connection, checking connection. We got nobody on YouTube. Nobody on YouTube yet. Instagram, what is going on? Y'all know me, I am Lance from Upstate. I am out here with Indios369, and we are live. How's it going? How's it going, Senzo? How's it going? We are live on Instagram and YouTube. We're going on two platforms right now. My live streams on TikTok would get 40,000 plus live viewers. TikTok has taken down my account for the third and final time, so I'm switching over to Instagram, Twitch. What's going on? Old enough to know better. How's it going? Jen Kables, how are you? How's it going, y'all? How's it going? I'll flip this camera around here. I'm with Indios369. We are in Albany. Showing some old world architecture. How do I flip this around? All right. So we do all sorts of stuff here. Y'all know Darren, Indios369. Jen, how are you, Jen? How are you? Where's everybody from? We are in Albany, New York. How is everybody doing? This is pretty wild old temple right here. Victor on YouTube. How are you, Victor? How is it going? Howdy, y'all. This is our first big live, trying to go live on 2 different platforms at once here. Lance from Upstate. YouTube is Lance from Upstate. Instagram is Lance from Upstate. I got a triangle right there.
Yeah, the alcohol and on the AA.
How's it going, y'all?
AA meetings, it's the same as...
So we're live, walking around here, showing y'all some interesting architecture. Y'all know Indios369. He's live on TikTok right now. Indios is live on TikTok. I appreciate y'all so very much. I am Lance from Upstate, multi-streaming now. So we are on YouTube and Instagram. Indios369 is on TikTok. I appreciate you, Victor. Hello. What's everybody doing in Instagram land today? How's everybody doing? So if y'all aren't familiar with my content, I go around and I show real history, real truths. And we've been lied to about so many things. And secret societies run the world along with the Freemasons. And the Freemasons, they have symbolism in everything. And a lot of these old structures, like this is part of the Historical Society, meaning that it's protected, right? It's protected. Derek, I appreciate you. Derek, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate the support. That's so awesome. So I'm going back and forth between 2 phones right now, y'all. My live's on TikTok. Molly, how are you, Molly? How's everything in Dwaynesburg today? I'm with Indios369 here. I appreciate you, Derek. I appreciate you. So we are heading around the First Presbyterian Church. We're in Albany, New York. Something I thought that was super interesting is, see this right here? Look. I have to get one of those fancy tripods that can hold 2 phones at once. Derek, you've learned a lot. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Just bear with me here. I'm trying to use 2 phones at once, but they took the head off the top of that. It's like a gargoyle. And if y'all don't know where the word gargoyle comes from, that's gargoule, French, for meaning throat. The gargoyles that are on all these buildings actually come from France. And the church beheaded a dragon, a legitimate pagan dragon, and they mounted it on top of a cathedral. And when the water ran through the head, it made a throaty noise. And that's what gargoule means in French, throat. Gwen Menza, postman, how are you? How are you? Victor, Jessica, how are you, Jessica? I appreciate you. Thank you for all the love on YouTube. Got 10 people watching over there now, 10 people watching over there. You know, TikTok, I'd walk around and I'd have 650 people with me sometimes, but we usually had 300, 400, 500 people walking around with us. What's that?
He just dropped my off.
They just dropped your life? So we are in Albany. We are in Washington Park over here. There's all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. All right, so we're trying to figure out what's going on here. I don't know. We filmed this before. We've actually gone live here before. That's a stork. That's a stork. See the stork? This building is actually pretty wild. Symbols within symbols. Symbols within symbols. So this is all old world of New York State is Albany. So it's not New York City, a few hours north here. In this park is some wild stuff. There's a huge statue of Moses we're gonna check out. What's difficult is me. Carter, what's going on, Carter? I apologize, I'm using 2 phones here and trying to multitask. I need one of those fancy stands. I'm gonna take this cover off my other phone here. And I actually might put my YouTube one in my pocket. Stand by, y'all. Stand by, Darren's fired up. Darren is fired up. Here we go. That's a little better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You feel like you should be tapping the screen, Jen? I do appreciate you. Lady Amber. Lady Amber, how are you on YouTube? Yeah, Lady Amber, they banned my TikTok for the 3rd time of the day. No warning whatsoever. Every time I'd break the algorithm and go viral, you all know I had 22,000 followers on there that we made pretty quick. And they banned that account. So then I had another account and that had 7,000 followers really quick. And then they banned me when I went viral. And I just had a 3rd account and it was getting a lot of traction and they banned that one. So we're out here trying to do the YouTube thing and the Instagram thing. There's some wild stuff. Look at that dragon. How cool. Lady Amber, I really appreciate you. I seriously do. I appreciate every one of you watching right now. Thank you so much. I am Lance from upstate.
These are the nights.
Lancelot live. This is pretty wild. Pretty wild. Those are 2 different faces. That's a male and a female face up there. Male and a female face up there. Those deities. Been live for about 9 minutes. We are in Albany. Yeah, it would have been wide open. That would have been wide open. Y'all know Indios 369 over there. We are live on YouTube as well. We are live on YouTube. Lance from upstate. Lady Amber. Where's everybody from? We got 6 people watching on Instagram. We got 9 people watching on YouTube. Like I said, on TikTok, we would have 40,000 people come across these lives in a couple hours stream. So we're reestablishing over here. We're reestablishing over here. I've never walked over on this side. But this stuff is pretty wild. 10 people watching on YouTube. Jen, you're awesome. I appreciate you, Jen. You got me on both accounts. Jen on Instagram says she's watching me on both accounts right now. I really appreciate that. See that statue over there? Actually, you want to walk all the way around the park? What'd she say? So while Darren and I are out, we, what is that? Derek, you're in Midwest Ohio? Hey, Derek, so I'd usually go to the Shawnee every year. Shawnee State Forest, I love it. In Scioto County, South Central Ohio, I'd go every year. I love the Shawnee. I've had some wild experiences out there. Carter, Phi Guy, sorry. Oh, you're on Instagram. Hey, what's going on, Carter? I see you now, brother. You're in Virginia, perfect weather, just had lunch. How was lunch, man? Good, I appreciate you watching my live, bro. I appreciate that. Jen, yes, we absolutely have to spread the news. TikTok is wild, absolutely wild. Like I said, we'd be doing these live streams, walking around, showing real history, talking about this stuff. Rockefeller State University in New York. This is all with the propaganda, right? Rocky fellers. So this is a big thing that we talk about, right? Freemasons. Look at this open temple.
I showed you guys the more options we found yesterday.
Look at this one. So a lot of people, if you're watching and you aren't familiar with this channel, a lot of this old world architecture they lied to us about, and the dates aren't correct. I'm not here to debate with anybody. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm just showing you our own observations. So I was a detective in the police force. I was a detective and a sergeant. I quit October 1st of last year. PD. October 1st of last year to spread knowledge and information and bring light to a lot of this stuff. I'm a combat veteran, and we're just trying to help heal people. I started this whole thing because I wanted to get people healthy, and then it's turned into this whole thing where we're around and exposing Freemasons and secret societies, and we're also inadvertently auditing at the same time. You know what I mean? Got 7 people on the gram. So this park over here, this is all old world brick structure, all old world. We'll probably get over to the education building at some point. But this is all mud flood. Mud flood. And if any of y'all watching are familiar with the mud flood, it goes back to the biblical flood. And I do believe that this is the land of milk and honey here. We were lied to about history. His story. To the victor go the spoils. And if y'all aren't familiar with etymology, it's very important, the breakdown of words. But this whole thing is all the historic foundation, and that's how they protect secrets. Because when it's locked in, then they control everything that happens in and out of it. There's beavers up there. Bloop. So the beaver up there, because this used to be Beaverwick. Jen, you're gonna talk to making a meme on your Instagram? Right on. Thomas Freedom Jefferson, my homie, what is going on, bro? What is going on? I appreciate you watching. You wanna know some more about the dates? Well, this is all mud flood evidence in here. So we're in Albany, New York. This is the capital of New York State. The Empire State. And do bear with me, I'm using 2 phones here. See? Boop. 2 phones, so we're streaming on 2 platforms right now. Whoa, what? 9-pointed star up in that window. So what do you want to know about the dates, brother? How we're missing 1,000 years of our timeline? So what happened to a lot of these places, and we can show in the big temples, is that they call them Freemasons for a reason. Freemasons, all right? And I'm not here to debate anything with anybody. We all know that it's an evil cabal, and they worship evil. They Baphomet. If you're not familiar with Baphomet, it's as above, so below. He's a goat head. You guys can go on to Luminary Lighthouse's page. He's an awesome guy, and I've done a couple shows with him, and we talk about all this evil. But they changed the dates. They changed the dates on a lot of these structures. A lot of them were built by different empires and not by who they said. Carter, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for stopping in, man. I hope you have a beautiful day in Virginia, Carter. Much love, homie. Thank you so much for stopping in for this live. I'll be going live more often on Insta. Have a great day. Yes, Thomas. Thomas Freedom Jefferson. Wow, look at that one. And those are all Solomon columns, right? So that's the whole thing. If you look outside the Temple of Solomon, there'd always be two columns. Two columns. The symbolism is wild. Victor, what causes the mud floods? Sorry about that. I apologize, Victor. Trying to go back and forth between comments. What caused the mud floods? Well, there's a lot of different theories about it. Gyration of the earth, flipping of poles. There's also the theory about all the giant trees that were here being cut down and water pouring out of it. To be honest with you, I don't know what caused it, but there's evidence that it happened, and every culture in the entire world talks about the Great Flood. Every culture, literally. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you big time. Yo, Thomas Freedom Jefferson, absolutely, bro. On Insta over here? Yep, absolutely. So Jeffrey Epstein, and he's linked to everything. Literally linked to everything. And this is where everything gets wild. It's because all these pedo pirate elites are all linked with each other, and they all work to cover each other. It's a bunch of nonsense. You have the solar crosses up there. Solar crosses in the top. Those columns, the Corinthian columns. Yeah, no, absolutely, Thomas. King Solomon worshiped Moloch. Yeah, the owl Moloch and Baal. Even now today, we pay homage to it. You got LeBron James. He does satanic rituals all the time. And I don't care. LeBron's a scumbag, in my opinion. Absolute scumbag out here negatively influencing kids. Just like that Travis Scott scumbag. Don't listen to him. Because he's literally casting out black magic onto our youth and hurting them. Well, yeah, so, Thomas, so talking about King Solomon being a Freemason, yeah, it all goes back to the Templars. All goes back to the Templars. That's Indios369. You know him from TikTok? Darren. He's got, I don't know, 85,000 followers on TikTok. He's live on TikTok. I'm live on YouTube and Instagram. 2 different phones right now. Yo, Mechanic. Troy Mechanic. Yo, Troy. Troy Mechanic. He was my platoon sergeant in Afghanistan. Stand-up dude. And I have a lot of respect for Troy. I love you, Troy. Thank you very much. So, Troy, I know that you haven't caught my lives, but my TikTok lives, they were getting like 40,000 viewers at a time. Yeah, we'll go there. Big Mac saying hello, Big Mac. That is so awesome, Big Mac. Troy, I appreciate you big time. You are, you're the real deal, Troy. You really are. Big Mac, he's a gorilla. We had we lived when him and I were overseas, when our unit was overseas, and we lived in a place called Balbaluk. And Troy, he's, like I said, he's a straight gorilla. And we didn't have much in Balbaluk, but he made sure that we had enough weights to lift. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate you, brother. Yes, so absolutely, Thomas Freedom Jefferson. The Templars were the first to try to do the debt bank, and they were taken down by the king. All right, so that all of it goes back to each other. So when Solomon came here, he appointed chiefs. You can look this up. Solomon appointed chiefs. That would be your chief of police, your chief of the fire service. That's why the symbolism all is the same. Templar symbolism. Mike, you were just in Indio's chat? Right on, right on. No, it all goes back to the Templars. And that's why, you know, a lot of people in this movement, they talk about Tartaria. I don't really use that term anymore because Tartaria you know, if you people want to use it for a generalized term to explain who was here, that's okay. But it's not Tartaria, it's the Templars. And the Templars and the Freemasons, they're involved with black nobility and all sorts of other stuff. And they purposefully, they keep us in this continuous Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, control through chaos. Control through chaos. All these old temples. But a lot of this stuff, so... Yo, Caleb, I know you're asking about dates. This ain't even a real cornerstone. What's this say? So right here, prime example. This is not a real cornerstone. That is a heraldic crest, all right? The Roman Empire. I'm not even kidding you. The Roman Empire, okay? This is not a real cornerstone. This says founded August 8th of 1841. Founded. 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 That seal, we can break that down. That's the crest of New York State. All right, you have the Roman eagle on top. All right, the all-seeing eye literally coming over the Pyramid Mountain, bro. The Pyramid Mountain. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but that's Lady Justice, right? Try to show on YouTube here as well. That's Lady Justice. And she's supposed to have even scales, right? The scales are supposed to be even, and she's blindfolded to show that it's all fair, right? Everything's fair and equal. But that's not what it really means. Like, and the blindfold is supposed to symbolize to them, they said, that, you know, it's just equal justice. That's not what it really means. The Khazarians tricked everybody. And being blindfolded while holding the scales means that as long as they tell you the truth, even if you don't see it, it means that they are completely exonerated in all the trickery that they pull on everybody, because they tell us the truth, but they use satire and Hollywood films to convince everybody. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you. Jennifer Cables, I appreciate you. Man, all these Nephilim temples. Oh, yeah, dude. There's literally a Templar flag up there. Literally. All right, YouTube. Can you guys see that still? I got to zoom in for Instagram. Look, there's a Templar flag up there. Templar flag. Then you have a Chiro. That right there is the Chiro. You have the Alpha and the Omega on top there. And that cross with a P in it, that's a Chiro. That's the first symbol for Christianity. First symbol for Christianity. And I can show that on YouTube as well. I can show that on YouTube. Stand by. Stand by, Instagram. So up there, that's the Chiro. Then you have the Alpha and the Omega. There's literally a Templar flag up there. So Mike says on YouTube, even when you show these ancient buildings in fields before cities were built, people don't believe they're founded. It's absolutely wild, Mike, but that's all part of the trickery. And that's what we want to show people, especially here in the city of Albany and upstate New York and around the Northeast. It doesn't make any sense. What makes less sense is on the West Coast, honestly, because the logistics and infrastructure didn't exist. I've done a couple podcast episodes with Luminary Lighthouse, Indios, and Batman on TikTok. We've gone, I don't know, we're going to do it again this Sunday. It'll be our third episode. But we talk about all this stuff. And we show it from all over the country, all over the world. This is the largest psychological operation and global conspiracy that there is. And it all goes back to the Templars and the Freemasons. 100% does. And this is how they keep us dumb, sick, and divided. Control through chaos. Been lied to about everything. From what we're supposed to put in your body to all the stuff that everybody ingests every day in the information. 90% of the information that everybody receives comes from 10 entities. 10 entities. And it all goes back to the same flag with a blue star on it. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying. The Khazarians. The Khazarians. The cool thing about YouTube is that this live will be posted automatically to YouTube once I get off of it, so people can go back and check it out. And I'll be able to do some clips and stuff. But there's some wild stuff here. We'll go show some of these big monuments. That's all mud flood. Mud flood right here. Why would they put windows underneath there and then pour concrete up? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's because this was all mud flooded out. And that's why all these places have dirt floors and dirt basements. Is because the mud flood literally flooded everything. A lot of these places. Now, Troy, appreciate you, Big Mac. Much love, brother. I'll talk to you soon, all right? Thank you. Over here on YouTube. Yeah, Derek, those stairs were not over there originally. You agree with Mike? People just don't, yeah, because it's easier to deny it. I made a video about this and how people would much rather stay blinded and lost, but they do that purposefully because, again, they control every facet of our lives and they don't want us to know the truth. And they just want us as little slave worker bees for the empire. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. 26 minutes we've been live. Coffee Cup, I appreciate you. David Borgs, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me on my walk through Albany. We are live. Well, look at this place. These are all old world, man. All old world. Do you guys understand or understand any of the symbolism with the Freemasons and how they operate? The handshake is Freemasonry. Our bodies are electric. Like everything is energy. It's the transference of energy. I appreciate you, David. Thank you very much for joining me here on Instagram. Mike on YouTube, absolutely, bro. Old world buildings and the New World Order. That's 100% right. Old world buildings and the New World Order. These are all red Templar brick. You can look it up. Google Templar brick right now. Google Templar brick, but this is old brick. This is old world brick. All these would have been open temples. You can see more evidence. It's all mud flood stuff all the way through here. I'm actually across the street. Another way that they keep us dumb, sick, and divided is right here. You see that? What's that say? Democrat for mayor. The Democratic Party is just as corrupt as the Republican Party. None of them are good. I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's the truth. Those are just another layer to keep everybody dumb and divided. This should be about the party of us, we the people, not the party of the Republicans or Democrats. You know what I'm saying? But this is how they get you, y'all. They get people all locked in. David, your grandfather was a Freemason? Do you know the truth about the Freemasons? A lot of us have relatives that were Freemasons. Darren's great-grandfather, he was a grandmaster, 33rd degree. Oh, look at that. That's a scallop shell. So that goes back to Venus. That goes back to Venus, and that also goes, everything is perverse and sexualized. Perverse and sexualized. That's to symbolize a woman's anatomy, that scallop shell. That door wouldn't have gone that way. This would have been all wide open up through here, and that would have been a Nephilim door. Y'all familiar with a Nephilim? Nephilim were giants. You can look this up. Goes back to the Bible, Enoch. But there were Lenape, Susquehanna, goes back to Sabe. Giants were all over the place before the flood and after the flood. This is all goes back to bloodlines. There's a feudal system that exists here that everybody thinks is gone because we have quote-unquote democracy. Democracy is a scam, in my opinion. 100% is, because it's all been hijacked. It's all been hijacked for corrupt elites, and we're done with it. It is time for we the people to take our power back, and we're no longer listening to these clowns. You know what I'm saying? I know what you know what I'm saying. That's awesome, Derek, on YouTube. Awesome. Derek, Mike over there, I appreciate you both watching me. GMC Tommy on Instagram, how's it going? Lizzie Luke 9999. 1884, 1884. Dates are important. Dates are incredibly important. Oh, look at the birdies. It is beautiful through here, though. But these would have been all Templar orders, all knight orders. And I showed you the crest and the heraldry. It goes back literally to the tribes of Israel. It's a pretty beautiful place. 1886. 1886. Absolutely. Wow, it's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. So that would have been wide open through there. There's some...
You guys know the postmaster is a grandmaster.
A postmaster is a grandmaster, yeah. Oh, look, those are Templar crosses. Those are Templar crosses right here. This all goes back to one and the same. You see that? The Red Cross, Templar cross. The Red Cross. It's all corporations, bro. It's all corporations. The corporations controlled us. Or they do control us right now in this old way.
SUNY College is all Templar.
Yeah, SUNY's all... Dude, there's so much stuff around here. But the corporations, they hijacked us. And they hijacked the world. And it goes to the same group of people that control the money. Because people that are weak, they think that money controls everything. Other than their money, what other skills do they bring? Other than chaos. Money is a fake construct that they created. Darren had a good point when we were driving over here. Yo, Derek on YouTube, bro, 100%. The frequency warfare, so many towers still getting installed. Those 5G towers, they negatively impact everybody. This goes back to the calcification of your pineal gland, okay? They add glyphosate to all your wheat. They add fluoride to your water. You can look it up. They literally put fluoride, extra fluoride in prisoners' water to keep them more docile. The 5G towers are out here emitting frequencies. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just like the aether. The aether is real, and we could harness that. Think of Benjamin Franklin flying the kite with the key. That wasn't electricity getting shocked from a lightning bolt. That was the aether. Albany plan of Union Avenue. This all goes back to the Union. The Union, the Union, the Union. Merchants. That's right, Derek. Deceived by merchants. We have been deceived by merchants. Bunch of clowns. Bunch of cuck pedos. And this is what we have to expose, man. Going back to Epstein, it's all related with every one of these elites in Epstein Island. They literally worship Baal. Huh? Oh, sorry. Darren's got to stay away from me because I'm ranting over here. TikTok's hardcore with censorship. And so this is the kind of stuff that always gets me in trouble is when I talk like this. They don't want to hear truth. Absolutely. Out here checking out these trees. You got to give the trees some love. You know what I'm saying? Give the trees some love. These big, beautiful trees. These ancient trees, they were here during the Revolution, 1776, undoubtedly. And I trust these trees' opinion and their energy way more than any of these history-appointed Masonic leaders. Absolutely wild. That's Indios 369. He's live on TikTok right now. Yeah, we'll show you. There's going to be some obelisks around here because Freemasons, they worship wieners. It's all these obelisks that stand up out here. It literally goes back to Osiris's shaft. The whole thing of Freemasonry is perverse and evil. People just don't realize it. They literally are worshiping Baphomet and evil, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it, but they're locked in their own programming. 11 Bravo, USA. Much love, dude, from one 11 Bravo to another. I appreciate you, homie. I appreciate you. I was in from 2007 to 2013. I was an 11 Bravo. I joined when I was 17 years old. "11 Bravo, USA. I appreciate you, homie. We got to wake more veterans up. We got to wake more soldiers up. We got to wake more cops up. Like I said, I was a detective and a sergeant in the police force. I was on the task force. I caught child predators. I was on the SWAT team. I was an instructor, literally trained hundreds, if not thousands, of students. They called me Big Country at the academy. Thank you, GMC Tommy. Much love, homie. I appreciate you, 11 Bravo USA, over here on YouTube. I'm multi-streaming, so I got this one going right now with YouTube, and I got that one going with Instagram. I would usually be live on TikTok. My TikTok live streams would get 40,000 plus viewers in a couple hours stream, but TikTok keeps taking out my platform. So TikTok and pound salt. Wildflower 93. No worries. Thank you, Wildflower. I appreciate you.
With the remains of a star Somebody's
11 Bravo USA, bro. 100%. The whole system is waking up. It is time for change, y'all. It is time for change, and we the people, we deserve the truth and retribution. Absolutely. We've been lied to about so much, and we're done with wars. And they want to keep starting more and more wars, just like my homie 11 Bravo USA here. Like, literally, we're done fighting wars. And this is how these weasels and these weak quote-unquote leaders, they send the bravest as cannon fodder to fight their wars, but they're all a bunch of cowards. They're all a bunch of cowards. Nicole Jones on YouTube. Yeah, my TikTok was removed again for the third time. So in less than a year, I don't know, in about 10 months, I amassed about 22,000 followers. And everything was going great on TikTok. And then they banned me. So then I made another account. And I went viral on there. Had a lot of followers. And they banned it again for no reason. And so I made a third account. And you're only supposed to need 1,000 followers to go live on TikTok. They wouldn't approve to go live on TikTok, even though I was a top 1% performer for my other accounts going live. It's the top 1% performer of live broadcasters on the whole entire platform at TikTok. And they wouldn't approve me to go live until I hit almost 2,000 followers. Then I posted a video, it was going viral, and they banned my account again without warning. But just so you all know, TikTok is now run by an IDF agent, 100%. You can look it up. Israeli Defense Force. Oh, that's you, Honey Bay. I appreciate you. Everybody's names are so different across platforms. And so, like I said, I'm live on YouTube right here, live on Instagram right here. And Honey Bay, Nicole Jones, she's awesome. Yo, 11 Bravo USA, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming out here and supporting me. Chief Big Bong on Instagram. How's it going? USA 1967. You just joined? Yo, this is wild down here. So this was an old boathouse. We show that the canals were all linked together. All the canals were linked together, and people traveled via canal over everything. This would have been remnants of the original canal. We're gonna head down there and check this thing out. Check this thing out, y'all. I put my slippers on today to walk around Albany. Before my TikTok got banned, I did 8 miles barefoot through the city of Troy. I don't wear shoes. And honestly, today putting on these moccasins, these are literally my slippers, my winter slippers. Today putting these slippers on is probably the first time I put shoes on in literal months. Even all the stores back at my house, they know I'm just gonna come in, usually with my shirt off and not wearing shoes. So I'm just a free person like that, you know what I mean? I refuse to be controlled. Mr. Milano, what is going on, Mr. Milano, over here on YouTube? What is going on? Now, this is freaking wild, dude. This is absolutely wild. And I don't think you guys know how big this is. So there's Indios 369 up there. Oh. What's difficult here is that I like putting my phone up with the tripod to give you guys an idea of the size of some of these places. So I can do that right here. And we'll do it this way. So we got the tripod set up right there. You see how big this is? There's a huge amphitheater. Huge amphitheater. The other side of this is all water that they filled in. There would have been canals that linked all these together. Literal boathouses. We used water for navigation. You can look up to the Erie Canal. Erie Canal was the largest public work completed or done at the time of its completion, 1817 to 1825. Giant canal system. Pam Lama 2011 on Instagram. Glad you found me on Instagram. TikTok is gone again. Yes, unfortunately, dear. Derek on YouTube. You have a pair of slippers from Kingdom of WoW, and they're amazing. They're barefoot style slipper. That's what I need. I need some barefoot shoes. I want some barefoot shoes. That's what I really want. I mean, this is, so you see that crest? That's a heraldic crest up there. See that? Heraldic crest. So the heraldry, that's been sanded off. You can see it's literally been sanded off. Every one of these heraldic crests would have had something in it. You can see where it's literally been sanded off. And this goes all back to different families, different tribes, 100%. Derek, yeah, no, absolutely. Kendreha, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, honey. I've been doing research on Cohoes by the lost where the boats used to come through. Yes. So did you see Darren and I when we went live there, Harmony Mills and Cohoes? We've gone live there a couple times. The canals literally still run under part of the city. There's another heraldic crest. Old enough to know better on Instagram. You grew up 3 miles from the Erie Canal? Yeah, so the Erie Canal runs all the way through here. We're in Albany, New York. Albany, New York. This is a park office. Look at this. Wow. So the Erie Canal links up to the Hudson River. The Erie Canal, the Champlain Canal. Again, we were deceived by merchants, right? Deceived by merchants. And the Templars, when they were kicked from France, they had a whole fleet of ships and lots of gold. Where do you think they came to? Where do you think they came to? Transportation was all free before. If you had a canoe or a kayak or a boat, you just took the canals. Old enough to know better, east or west side of Syracuse? That's awesome. So Syracuse, there's a lot of wild stuff in Syracuse. Yeah, cornerstones are knocked out of everything. We barely ever find real cornerstones. A lot of them have been knocked out and altered because inside the cornerstone would have been like the mason's information, who built it, all sorts of stuff. But they knocked out the cornerstones and put in fake ones in so many different places. But this would have been all, this has got filled in. See it? This is coming into Albany. This is Washington Park. Washington Park. Kendreha, am I saying that right? Yeah, Mr. Milano, pretty wild structure, right? Pretty wild structure. You live by Harmony Mills? Oh, right on. There's a compass on the ground over by the falls too. Sorry, they aren't there, and I'm talking about it. But yeah, no, it's all connected, all connected. Everything is all connected. Everything is all connected. We're gonna, I'm gonna end up showing you all the education building. You guys want to see some wild Pantheon structures? The Capitol and the education building? I appreciate all your support. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. There's a pretty wild statue we're gonna go see over here. I don't know where Darren went. He was over there. Kendreha, do we have a community where we do this together? So that's kind of the plan, is that I want to start bringing groups of people out and we can do this all together, educate and learn from each other, putting all the clues together. That's what we are kind of working towards on TikTok. I know a lot of people reach out to me all the time. They want to meet up with us. There's a lot of people all over the country that are inviting myself and Darren to come see them and look through some of the symbolism with them. I would love... Kendreha, honestly, you want to meet up with us whenever? I mean, we're in Albany right now in Washington Park. I don't know where Darren went, though. That's what I want to show you all. There's literally a giant Moses statue over there. Derek, I know. And that's the whole thing. That's the reason, one of the biggest reasons why we want to travel is... there's a lot of people all over that want to meet up with us, and Darren and I want to meet up with y'all. I know I definitely want to meet up with y'all. I want to meet up with y'all. And it's time to expose the truth. We all know the truth, and they can stop playing their stupid games. Kendreha, am I saying that right? I don't want to keep butchering your name. Kendreha, is that what it is? Sorry about that, Instagram fan. I got 2 different phones going right now, multi-streaming on 2 platforms. I don't know where Darren went. He disappeared. Anybody watching Darren on TikTok? Drea? Perfect, I'll call you Drea. You're a truth seer? That's awesome, Drea. No, Darren and I were actually talking about going to Cohoes today before we came here. The canals. The canal, like Cohoes is wild. Cohoes has a bunch of structures through it. City Hall, like where the police station is, literally it's all pagan faces, all underneath, all around City Hall, the police station. How's it going, everybody on Instagram? I am Lance from Upstate, Lancelot Live. Please give me a follow on YouTube. Had a pretty decent following on TikTok, but they keep taking that down. So we show real world, old world history here. It's a horse chestnut tree. Yeah, no, Drea. Absolutely, reach out on, if you have Instagram, Drea, reach out there. Oh, Mr. Milano, bro. Listen, I want to go to Connecticut so bad. So bad. Yo! Ryan, what's going on, bro? We were just talking earlier about the fittest flat earther. Yeah. It's funny how certain people's content gets pushed and other people get silenced, huh? Isn't that funny? Drea, my Instagram is Lance from Upstate. Everything is Lance from Upstate. Lance from Upstate. Instagram, I think we're about to hit, 13,000 followers over there. Instagram's been taking off lately, made some videos. Instagram allows you to be a little more risque than the other platforms, which is cool. Thank you, Drea. Definitely reach out. We'll get together. I want to organize these groups. I'd love for a bunch of us to do this simultaneously all over the place. And I know that my background as a detective is very helpful when it comes to auditing as well, because since I left policing, I've always been profiled, right? Because I got a bunch of tattoos and, look the part. But since I quit policing especially and been out just walking around and just showing this stuff, we've been harassed by the police more times, and it's nonsense. So I'm going to be doing that more often. It's not to be disrespectful, but it's to educate people on the First Amendment, which a lot of these police officers have no idea about it. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody, but a lot of these cops got no business being cops. They don't. The standard has lowered exponentially. Awesome, Drea. Yeah, definitely. I'll get back to you. Victor, Danbury, Connecticut? Do you know about that, Derek? Or Mr. Milano? Do you know Danbury, Connecticut? Anybody know where Darren went? I don't know where Darren went, but I want to show you this. It's a literal Moses fountain statue here. Moses fountain statue. How's it going, Instagram? How's it going, YouTube? I am Lance from Upstate. Please give me a follow. Show some love. Out here showing real world history. The world is so corrupt, Drea. Oh, GMC Tommy, he's in that building down there. Thank you, GMC Tommy. I appreciate you. Hey, if you pop back over there, K-Sweet, you can't like it? Why can't you like it? Dang. Thank you, Drea, down by the water. Well, look at this nonsense. There's a fleur-de-lis, 2 of them, like a big door. What is underneath this? Henry L. King, in memory of his father, Rufus H. King. This fountain was erected 1893. Literal Moses, all right? The stream quality on Instagram is immaculate. That's awesome, Ryan. Yo, GMC Tommy, thank you, bro. Thank you so very much. Heather Jones over here on YouTube. Once you see the truth, there's no turning back. That's right. You put the magic glasses on just like They Live with Roddy Piper. You put the magic glasses on and you can't take them off, buddy. Look at this. Look at this. And that's the whole thing, right? We're out here to expose truth and real truth. So a lot of these people, much like the fittest flat earther, you ever hear them talking about the Templars? Huh? You ever hear them talking about child trafficking? You ever hear them talk about how these secret elites, they worship Baphomet and Baal? Moloch? Dark Babylonian magic? All goes back to the Khazarian Empire, bro. Ah, I see you over here now, Drea. Insta. Right on, right on. How's the quality, Drea? Is it better on Instagram or YouTube? Mr. Milano, there's 2 super old forts near you, believe, on a star fort named Fort Trumbull. Fort Wild. Oh, that's wild. So star forts are super wild, and they're all over the place. A lot of them, I mean, Darren's pulled it up. You can go to the Library of Congress and look at the blueprints for all of them, but it's all French Templars and mound builders. So going back to, we were talking about Solomon earlier, right? Solomon, King Solomon from the Bible. He was the original one. He commanded legions and appointed chiefs, and he was a Templar. Old enough to know better. You have a place to go check out in Syracuse? Oakwood Cemetery? There's an Oakwood Cemetery in Syracuse, bro? Oak Cemetery in Syracuse? Because we go to Oakwood all the time in Troy here. There's Darren all the way down there. Yeah, Derek over here on YouTube, you wish your eyes were open in school. Challenge history teachers. Facts. Yeah, Heather Jones over here on YouTube as well. Did a deep dive during the pandemic. I think a lot of people did, and the attempted brainwashing backfired. Absolutely. Yo, Greg! Bro, big-hearted peace and love, dude. I love you, homie. Thank you. Thank you for coming and watching me over here, bro. They got my TikTok again. Old enough to know better. That's pretty wild. Yeah, Caterer Chris, you're talking about the one in St. Augustine, Florida, the Star Fort, right? That the Star Fort in St. Augustine? Very familiar with that one. That one's on the bucket list. Darren's live got kicked for a second, Greg? Derek, your mom is RN and COVID has awakened her. Listen, I got 2 different platforms going right now. So I'm live on YouTube right here, and then I'm live on Instagram right here, all right? So I'm going back and forth. Darren's down there. I want to show you all some big structures. I mean, this park's wild, but I like reading facts so we can literally disprove them. Let's go down and see what Darren's doing. I know Darren, I'm super loud. I just have I'm quite animated and just quite a loud guy. But I have a lot of energy. This is my passion, all right? We talk about the transference of energy, passing of ions, passion. My passion is teaching and inspiring others to be brave and be true to themselves. And so my passion, being out here, just like you were talking about earlier with the plandemic, that was a distract ion, distracting your ions, your energy, right? Yo, Shreddy Gigi on Insta, what's up there, bro? What's up there, Shreddy? How are you, homie? Thank you, Derek. I really appreciate that. It's honestly a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be, but we're doing all right so far, right? 2 different streams going on. I need one of those. Sticks that holds 2 phones. But I'm broke because I quit my job and TikTok keeps banning me every time I get monetized. So, holding 1 phone now. Yeah, old enough, better. I will absolutely check out that cemetery, bro. It's wild. Oakwood Cemetery. We have an Oakwood Cemetery in Troy here. It's actually the final resting place of Uncle Sam Wilson, and he was a Freemason. War of 1812. A lot of this goes back to the War of 1812, which, when you start talking about the private versus the public, the empire versus kingdom, a lot of it goes back to the War of 1812. People think we won the American Revolution. The War of 1812 negates that. That's why everything goes back to the king. Disneyland, Disney World, whatever, in Florida, look that up. Who do they take orders from? The King of England. The King of England. Greg, you can hear me? Yeah, that's funny. Greg's over here on YouTube. He's awesome. He's been an awesome, loyal follower on TikTok for a long time. Great guy. And everybody can hear me yell, like, way up the street. I always get everybody's attention, especially when I'm in the middle of these big cities and I start screaming about gargoyles. What happened to Darren? What's that? Darren lost all his connection. Yo, Freddie Gigi, Oak. This is a different Oakwood. He's talking about Oakwood in Syracuse, but you know the Oakwood in Troy, bro. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you, homie. No? Really? So Darren, you all know Indios369. He lost connection on TikTok over there. I think it's TikTok, dude. No. He lost all connection.
It's not even letting me load any of my messages.
Y'all know Darren. He's having a hard time with TikTok right now, playing games. Greg, you put brakes on yesterday? Heather, I got to put a bell on Darren? Yeah. Well, thankfully, all you guys keep track of him for me because you'll bounce over to his live, let me know where he is. Drea, TikTok kicked you off live last night for no reason? Yeah, you like that? You like that big thing? That thing's pretty wild, right? And the other side of this is water. We talk about the canals. Sorry, old enough to know better. I'm going back and forth there. I apologize. You're still a female. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to multitask here, going back and forth. Yeah, no, we went over this. I mean, on the back side of it, you can see, right? There's literal Solomon columns up here. Solomon columns up here. This is yellow brick. 1928 on it. The thing is that they build, and we can show you examples, structures on top of structures. So a lot of these structures have stuff underneath them. And just like with the mud floods and how these structures are a lot taller and all of them have dirt basements, a lot of these structures, they literally built right on top of them. Some of these foundations you see that are all brick is literally another structure right underneath them. Greg G, yeah. Big-hearted peace and love over here on YouTube. You're 100% right. Disney is all about loosh. Heather, I appreciate you. I'm really trying to boost this YouTube up. I had a video do really well a couple weeks ago. Got 50,000 views, so that was cool. If anybody knows the YouTube channel called Here's the Deal. Anybody know the YouTube channel called Here's the Deal? He's a police auditor. He's got like 400,000 followers. He reached out to and commented on my video that actually did pretty well. I got like 50,000 views. And he wanted me to go on his live stream. I've sent him 2 emails so far, and I haven't heard back. So if anybody knows the YouTube channel, Here's the Deal, y'all need to reach out to him and say that Lance from Upstate wants to talk to you. Because I'm going to start doing some audits too, and it's not to be disrespectful. I'm not going to be a jerk like these other people. I'm here to actually educate people, unlike some other people that just want to come here and... You know. This is all together. This isn't you versus me. This is the power of we. You and I, all of us together, us versus them. There's literally like 8,000 people that run the whole world. Thank you, Heather. I really appreciate all your support on TikTok. I really do. Darren's over here. I wonder if... all right, so is he able to go back live again now? That's a big mound right behind us that Darren's walking towards. Big mounded hill. New brakes and rotors took you 4 hours, Greg? I would have given you a hand, bro. I would have given you a hand, Greg. We got 20 people watching on YouTube now. 20 people. This is awesome. On TikTok, we'd have like, I think the most I ever had was almost 700 people walking around with me at one time. But what's cool about YouTube is that these lives post right to YouTube afterwards. I don't have to do anything fancy or special, nothing like that. How's everybody doing on Instagram over here? Instagram, we're live on 2 different platforms right now. 2 different platforms, 2 different phones. Darren's over here. I might take this outside shirt off though. So I'm sweating. We've been live almost an hour. Almost an hour. What kind of vehicle do you have, Greg? What kind of vehicle do you have in terms of make? Bro, like all these new vehicles, every single one of them have a different way to do anything now. See these willow trees? Anybody know the scientific name of these weeping willows? Babylonius. What would be really cool is if it would probably be a lot easier is if, you know, people walked around and they could help film. We could go on many different platforms, because I do want to go to Twitch as well. Twitch is, yeah, Darren, you want to talk about the willow trees? You want to talk about...
So the willow trees, they were planted on these trade routes, but they're native to Asia, but the chemical compound that's made from aspirin, the actual compound, you can take the bark of a willow tree, and that's where you get aspirin from.
And the scientific name?
Is a Salix babylonica. So
Salix babylonica.
Harps on the willows in Babylon, it's talking about the weeping willow tree. And the Knights Templar would put them on trade routes because during the Crusades, everybody's fighting back and forth, all kinds of stuff. It was a pain reducer, fever reliever.
And it's also a very distinct tree. So if you're following a trade route, you follow the willow trees, right? The trees are so incredibly important when it comes to everything, especially with the Templars and the Freemasons. Oak trees, what do you know that show Oak Island where they're looking for Templar gold? That's another distracting your energy. That's not where the gold is. I think it's the mainland USA, but a lot of these tombs and stuff have been raided by all these Freemason cucks. K Sweets, you're in Vegas, but would love to go exploring with us? That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I've never been to Vegas before. It's honestly, it's time for me to travel. I just want to get a van and travel around and film and talk and make music. And that's what I want to do. How is this? So my YouTube phone is almost dead already, which makes no sense. So we'll keep going on YouTube until this one dies. It's down to 20% already, 20% battery. My main phone on Instagram here, that one still has 56% battery. Old enough to know better. So I just drove by House Caverns recently. I went out to near Oneonta for a football game, high school football game. And what I found interesting in Oneonta is that's called the City of the Hills. But the Susquehanna River runs next to Oneonta. And if you don't know who the Susquehannas are, they were a literal giant tribe that resided here. The famous explorer John Smith, he spoke of the Susquehannas. I went to New Jersey with Chris Beale, the giant hunter himself, and he showed me an area where it's like 27 giant Lenape skeletons were unearthed when they were doing some stuff to build a new church, and they dug up all these Lenape giant skeletons. And this is literally documented in a newspaper article from the 50s. And they just try to put a kibosh to all this stuff. Just like the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian's been involved in the biggest cover-up of giant bones ever. My homie Iron Ed in Hawaii, that's usually on these live, he keeps me updated with all the federal cases that are going on, and the Smithsonian is getting spanked in federal court right now about the cover-up. Greg G, I haven't worked on any of the newer Yodas. All the weeping willows around the river gateway into the New York. Absolutely, Greg. Absolutely. I've been out to California a couple times, but that was in the Mojave Desert, the National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California, before I went to Afghanistan. That was probably, like 2011? I was a young lad then. I turned 22 in Afghanistan, and I got out of the Army when I was 23. Yeah, no. K-Sweet. That's the thing, is that I'm always barefoot. I don't like wearing shoes, and I don't want to be cold this winter. Greg, over here on YouTube. Yes, bro. The trees are definitely landmarks. They didn't have street signs back then. No, not in the same way. And people use terrain. That's why topography is so incredibly important. Look at all these perennial pine cones. Corby Sullivan. Yo, Corbo. This is literally like the first time I've gone live on Instagram like this. I'm going live on YouTube. Live on YouTube right now and live on Instagram at the same time. That's Indios369. He's live on TikTok. We're just getting kicking here. This phone's gonna die here already.
I paid 55 cents.
You made 55 cents?
A piece of penny candy.
You see these mounds all the way up through here? Mounds. So just like The parks protect mounds, just like the cemeteries protect mounds, just like historical societies protect all this architecture. You can't do anything without getting a permit. Through who? The government. Who controls the government? The Freemasons. It's all the same black robe priesthood. Literal black robe priesthood. So you think about it, when you graduate high school, what do you wear? You wear a square hat. A square hat? You know, when you're gonna square up with somebody, you know, because you're gonna pay off your debts, where do you think that comes from? Freemasonry. Why do you think? So when you graduate high school and you wear a black robe with a little square hat, there's literally like entry level Mason. The jack of all trades is the master of none. I am the jack of all trades. Because masters, that is directly related to Freemasonry. Yeah, no, that's wicked hot out there, K-Sweet. Damon Selly over here on YouTube. Are you guys buying Timeline's 1800 buildings of these structures? Absolutely not. I don't know if you've ever watched my content before, bro, but you can absolutely go check out my content. I talk about all this stuff. I've been talking about it for months now here. No, we're missing about 1,000 years out of our timeline. We're lied to about everything. You don't get very many thunderstorms out there old enough to know better? The weather's been pretty wild, huh? We haven't got enough rain at all in New York, honestly. And the whole state of New York, or Vermont, is in a state of drought. All right. I don't know how much battery I got left on this backup phone here. So YouTube might be going down here, but I'll focus all my attention on Instagram once it dies out. Whew. We certainly get our steps in. Anybody that is familiar with India 369 and his live broadcast, you know that he don't play with that block button. He'll just block you. I hear him blocking people over there. I think he blocked like 100 people live yesterday. I wasn't live because they banned my account yesterday on TikTok for no reason. No reason. We got 17 people watching on YouTube. Where's everybody from? Please share this out. This phone that I'm recording on YouTube is gonna die, unfortunately. My battery didn't last that long. Maybe YouTube takes more battery than... Victor, you're here in Albany, bro? Victor, you're here in Albany? I've never been to the Pacific. I want to go to the Pacific Ocean so incredibly bad. I really, really do. I want a van and I want to travel. That's what I want to do. Meet up with everybody. Like I said, make music. Woo! All right, we might go another 5 minutes on YouTube, and then I'm gonna focus on Instagram because my phone that I'm live for YouTube is about to die off here. There's garbage everywhere. If y'all know me, I pick up garbage everywhere. You know, I'm going back down here. I see a little historical sign. Let's go see what the sign says. Y'all know how I like reading signs. Let's go see. So this would have been a boathouse, right? Because all the canals were all linked together. And we were talking about star forts earlier. Victor, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, Victor. Seriously, I want more and more people to come out here and walk around with us. All right, so we're at 10% battery. I'm gonna read this, Victor, and then I'm gonna have to shut down this YouTube one. This phone's about to die, brother. But I will be continuing to stay live on Instagram. This is in Albany. This is Washington Park, and this is Albany, the capital of the Empire State. The Empire State, where it all started. You have to research incorporation. When everything became incorporated, our government was hijacked by the corporation, and they have the money in the capital to control us. Okay, so we have to break free from all of this. We've been deceived by merchants. I'm going to read this right quick. The lake house that appears in these images is very different than the building that stands in front of you. The existing lake house, designed by J. Russell White, was built of brick and terracotta in 1929. It replaced the original 1875 wood structure attributed to Frederick Brown, and also designed the similarly featured new houses behind you on Madison Avenue. Although different in style, both buildings were intended to facilitate lake-related pastimes such as boating, fishing, and ice skating. The original structure housed a bandstand in its open central tower. Today's tile-vaulted bandstand is located on the north side of the structure facing a terraced hill. So that's it right here. And all these old postcards right here. These postcards, they're excellent for this knowledge. Checking out postcards. A lot of times you can't find pictures of these things. But look at that. So that was the one that was originally here, but they tore it down. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. They tore it down. Yeah, no, it's pretty blue. There's no nothing in the sky today, which is nice, which is very nice, very nice. The first college fraternity was in 1776, so that's an excellent point, Ryan. So we're talking to Ryan here on Instagram. Ryan, so what are frat houses and sororities designed for? To protect the corporation. Why do you think it all goes back to Greek? That's why you have all these secret societies, much like J.D. Vance being in Skull and Crossbones. J.D. Vance, the vice president, being in Skull and Crossbones. You know who else was in Skull and Crossbones? George Washington and John Kerry. Sworn enemies, but united on the same front, because they're all these cucks and pedo pirates that are all in these same little secret organizations where they do their little rituals, and it all goes back to deities and Babylonian black magic. 100%. All right. Hey, stay on here for 1 second, Instagram. I'm going to say bye to everybody on YouTube. Listen, y'all. Well, I'm going to have to hang up this live stream on YouTube because my phone's about to die. But I will be back on here. I love y'all. I appreciate your support. And we'll be going live on YouTube more often, as well as Twitch and Instagram. So I love y'all. Thank you. I'm going to be staying live on Instagram, so follow me over there, okay? Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, everybody. Greg, big-hearted peace and love. I love you, bro. Thank you so very much. I love y'all. I'll catch you soon, okay?